Marketing is an ever-evolving function, and with new marketing methods being explored every day, there is constant innovation that impacts consumer expectations and behavior. Seeing how rapidly things are changing, we at Merkle Socrates decided to put in dedicated efforts with a specialized team of experts to understand the evolving marketing ecosystem and address it with innovation and tech integration to cater to our clients' needs. That is when we build the Center of Excellence team that brings together subject matter experts and thought leaders who drive digital transformation for our client facing teams and empower them to create the best possible experience for our clients. Let's understand what the Center of Excellence team does and how it is one more stepping stone for our client success. Hi Akhil, hi Akshay. So tell us something about yourself and what do you do here at Merkle Socrates?
Okay, thanks for inviting us, Kushi. So I've been a part of Merkle Socrates for quite some time, and company has given me an opportunity to work with multiple departments. Right now, what we have identified is that there is a requirement of new skill sets to be developed, within the agency ecosystem, where we address clients' new coming expectations when the digital ecosystem is ever evolving, right? And there we identified there is a need of dedicated effort that needs to be given to work upon some tech innovations, best practices, tech integrations, right? And through that thought process, we thought of introducing Center of Excellence team, and currently I am a part of that team.
Hi Kushi. I'm Akhil and I've been here for 6 years in Socrates. So Akshay and I have kind of shared a similar story. So we have been part of media teams first, handling through the ops to the major part of our careers, right? So we used to do innovations in bits and pieces whenever we used to get the time. But once kind of we brainstormed and decided, hey, why don't we give it a dedicated time and the team to kind of see what we can do, and that's the basically that's how the COE team was born, Center of Excellence. So yeah, as Akshay mentioned, in COE basically we kind of cater to the clients, let's just say requirements of their digital growth, standardizations, best practices across our ops. How can we kind of improve ourselves, our the client engagement. So yeah, those are the basically few things we do.
Wow, that's quite a journey. So, what exactly is the Center of Excellence team and what is it that you do?
See, customer expectations are evolving quite rapidly, right? And I'll give you an example, right? By the end of 2024, there is not going to be cookies, right? So the entire measurement ecosystem is going to get impacted because of that, and there is a need of dedicated efforts to address those issues. So COE team is a set of people who are subject matter experts, thought leaders in the industry, and work on such problems.
Right, so adding to that what Akshay has mentioned, right? So Center of Excellence, as I said, the idea of it was born to give a dedicated support to the ops, which the ops kind of struggle to have the time or even the bandwidth to deal with the innovation and the best practice from the industry, right? And this team, Akshay mentioned, the team consists of the subject matter experts. So basically we do want to work on 4 basic pillars that we kind of defined for ourselves. One is on the benchmarking and the standardization across the ops. Second is how to cater to the client's digital growth, right? And the third one is basically how do we bring the future forecast into our media mixes, right? And the final one is basically to bring these best practices to the ops. How can we drive these best practices among the ops? So these are the 4, you can say the 4 main pillars that we tend to do here.
Just to add one more point, in terms of when we talk about innovations, bringing in best practices, right, there is a need of training the existing state of media teams, right? So we also work upon centralized mechanism where we, brainstorm with our team members, work on strategies which can help clients succeed in their business KPIs and upskill them.
That's quite interesting. So, what is the value proposition that the COE team brings?
So what I can say is we think futuristic so that we can set a vision for our clients. We try to work upon improving the quality of our deliverables so that clients' business KPIs are met. and we also work upon aligning ourselves to the changing paradigm shift of the industry.
So we came up with something called vertical champ cadence. So we want to identify and nurture the vertical champions within our ops and then groom them to become the vertical leaders, right? So that's where we decided, hey, why don't we pick up few members from the ops, give the training they required, and let's kind of publish a playbook for let's just say e-commerce, for example, right? It basically should consist of all the best practices of what an e-com account should be doing. See, at the same, we want to give the thought leadership to the e-commerce industry. At the same time, we want to keep it very realistic and useful so that these solutions are applicable on the ground scene, right? So I'll tell you a couple of examples for the vertical champs, these two, right? So we kind of created the best practices, you can say, of all the initiatives that these guys have to take according to the maturity of a brand. For example, a solution which will work for a mature client will not be working for a growth phase client, right? They're at a different maturity curve altogether. So we want to curate solutions to these guys separately, and that's how we approach the vertical champ program altogether in our scene.
So in the vertical champ program, right, we also added one more layer where we are collating all the data that we have internally and created a benchmarking sheet, right, so that we can benchmark, like Akhil mentioned, a client who is in their growth phase, how their numbers will look like in the funnel versus client who is mature in the market, right? And accordingly, let's say a new deal is coming our way, we can evaluate their current campaigns, evaluate their growth strategy accordingly.
So since we're always ensuring there's this constant innovation, how do we ensure that we drive innovation in a way that brands approach digital media?
So we enable tech integrations and partnerships. We talk to a lot of partners and vendors to identify the gaps in the market and address them for the respective clients. We work with our vendors on a lot of early betas, new alphas, so that we have the added advantage and we stay ahead of the curve in the market.
I'll just give an example of what Akshay just mentioned, right? So there's a lot of talk about AI, even ChatGPT these days. So what is a realistic use case in a digital marketing? That sometimes we tend to miss the answer or the implementation of it. I mean the first thing that comes to our mind is conversational commerce, right? So how the conversational commerce is kind of taking over digital marketing and has its effort. So the classic case examples are the click to WhatsApp ads and even a Google Business Messages. These basically utilize the AI conversations, and then they also tend to drive the traffic to the platform, you can say, to increase sales, right? So these kind of integrations can get tricky. That's where we kind of step in to educate our clients that, oh hey, there is a plausible solution for you out there. Why don't you kind of explore it? And then we go out and we kind of explain the same to ops that, hey, this is what the industry forward-looking strategy is. Why don't you go and implement it?
And along with the existing set of clients, right, when there is a prospecting client, we use these innovations, these ideas around AI, machine learning and automation to work upon a go-to-market strategy or a business development strategy.
Right. And the next thing that we need to do kind of in driving the innovation is implementation, right? How do we assist the ops with the implementation? That's a big thing, because definitely providing thought leadership is we definitely wanted to do and we'll continue to do so. But how do we get it at a grassroots level? The implementation is also very important. So that's where we would want to take utilize of our ecosystem, the Denso ecosystem, and have that cadences set between with the teams so that we can have this implemented.
So it seems like we have a quite fascinating and extensive approach. So what role has COE directly or indirectly played in the client success journey?
So COE team does digital governance for our internal clients, where we work on their account strategies, scrutinize their accounts performance, and identify whether they are following best practices or not. And the same can be implemented for external clients, where we can do consulting for them and create high impact plans, work on their roadmap for next 6 months, 1 year.
So I'll just give an example of what Akshay mentioned, right? So the high impact plan is maybe digital strategy or a forward looking strategy of a 1 year yearly planning or a bi-yearly planning of the clients. That's where we kind of pitch in, and then media activation plan married with tech and innovation to make it a successful strategy, right? And just to add to that, we even want to bring make use of Denso ecosystem right? The tools that we have across Denso, how do we implement them within our company, and at the same time, how can we advocate for our best practices across the Denso companies as well.
Well, now that was a fascinating conversation, and it is amazing to see how much effort we put in to ensure that our clients are on a constant growth curve. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to us on conversations@merklinc.com.